Hello and welcome. It is 8 p.m. Eastern Time, June the 6th, and things are going wild right now, both for Bitcoin and XtraByes, XBY, as something just happened on XtraByes that I find very, very interesting, and I'll go over that. And well, this Bitcoin chart, starting with the daily chart, 18 average front weighted. And what do we see here? Trendline analysis. Well, normally I connect support, but in this case, if I do that, it's just not going to work because that's not even a good support line. Let's put a better support line in. But it's not going to work though. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, this looks like a good support line. Hey, let's do one that does the rate of ascent. And well, I mean, it's pierced above it twice, but I mean, no, it doesn't work anywhere that has multiple good hits. I mean, suppose you could use that, but let's, instead of starting off with a trend line on support, let's do it on resistance. Where can we do it? I mean, we can only draw a couple points. That's what's... It makes it very difficult. So either we have to say trend line is broke or we have some major ascending trend line. That's basically all I can say right now about that factor. 18 average band, well above it, extending away from it, extending away from previous resistance. And it's just barely extending previous resistance. This thing is barely overextended, which means it has a ways to go before it's really overextended. Let's shorten this time frame out. Well, let's look at it from a 6-hour perspective. And of course, you had the interesting move from before, going from here to here. Well, now what we're seeing is it's consolidating amongst previous high. Breaking higher or moving higher. Pretty nice looking pattern. How does the 18 average play in here? Well, notice the sell-off. After it has its final plunge here, really plunge number 2, and a decent one. This is plunge number 1 to the band, rally to a lower high, and then plunge number 2, which was going from the 26 handle down to 1850. First one was from the 28 handle down to 22. So on that final plunge lower, a move up to 18, resisting, but not going down, correcting through time. Breaking 18, establishing resistance. Small price retracement to the 18. And then breaking, established, and here, and look at how the trend has been nothing but bullish, but on the break of resistance, look at the size of this green candle compared to the preceding ones. Yeah, that's what happens when you break the key levels. Also, notice the size of these candles compared to, well, these preceding ones, even as well as these two preceding ones as well. Yeah, that tells you that the bigger moves can easily continue happen. Definite reason for me to believe the trend based on this analysis that it's going to continue to move forward in the next few days. Now on to the hourly chart, looking at just the last few days and the recent move. There we have it, breaking a good green candle size here. Small consolidation, another push higher, then boom, what do we have? Another big move lower. 2 red candles down. But a move from 29 low change, 29 and a third or so, down to a small pierce below 27. That's a little over 200 points, 7 or so % haircut, and it's really just a small trim. That's all it is. A haircut might be a little bit deeper than that, but notice what happens after the play. 4 consecutive green candles. Boom, 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 boom. Again, back down fast. It rebounds quickly. Some of the things that the web bots have been talking about. Let's take a look at some Fibonacci numbers that I like to go over. 29 and a third high or so, ballpark, and 27 low. Key numbers. 2787, 2842. So 27 high is in here a little bit. Not resistance, continues to go further. Hair below 2800 is roughly here. Oh, it doesn't find much resistance, or doesn't it on here, but it supports it. After a fall, a price correction, or a correction through price, and a good correction. So therefore, that's telling me that this failure sell, the selling today, is nothing but an utter failure. So I fully expect this to go higher. Now, what's the next leg higher? Oh, we got 4,000 and change on the daily chart, but no, this is the hourly time frame. And the Fibonacci numbers should give me a good idea towards around 31. Not the psychological 3 number. No. But the 31 number. Let's now move on to XBY, or XtraByes. And it's at 7:52 p.m. Eastern Time. Somebody bought a lot, or a group of people anyway. Concluded at 7:52 p.m. As earlier today, the price action, it fell close to the previous key number of 750. At least on Yobit it did. And here you can see it's in the same area. And then this really weird current looking area where it says around 1210. But it got bought up to the 1400s. And instantly, we're talking hundreds of basis points. So somebody knows something. I have no idea what it is, but somebody bought a lot like this. And I've seen a lot of interesting buy orders. I mean, all I could do after I seen this was just take my Yobit account and buy everything I could with it. And that's all I could do. And then, of course, put the sell orders later on in here, holding some back. But, you know, that's going through strategy. It goes through strategy of what you are looking to play for. Now, many people seem to buy and sell this way. And I want to talk a little bit on how this happens, because this happens in many different markets as well. And I have a question mark here. And I think my answer is because of emotion, fear, inexperience, newbie, those kinds of things. Because if you really want to buy big into a market, you really got to strategically do it, or else something like this is going to happen. And what this would be, let's assume someone here is going to buy it all the way up to 1200. We got orders accumulating on the 1000 handle, 260, 1043 would be on the 1005, and this is the net sum of them. And we'll assume that to buy up to 1200, you'd have to pay 25,403, and let's assume that they do that. So they'll put in the screen, okay, let's click on here, let's buy it all, boom. And in a second, this goes up to 1200. And you're going to see the buy order somewhere around 990 or wherever it's at. And that's going to really change the complexion of the market. So if a lot of people do it, that's why you want to have the sell orders on these higher lap marks too as well. So when the XBY went up to that point, whoever bought, I sold some to those big buyers at, of course, the higher prices. And the same works on the downside. People just want to unload a bunch of tokens and say they got 3 Bitcoin worth, and they can bring the market down 10-12% themselves with just 3 or 4 Bitcoins, just 3 or 4 Bitcoins. Market on one exchange can go down 10-15% because one person decided to sell out of around, we'll say $8,000-9,000 US worth. And that's bringing a market down to that level. That's what you call a low volume, big sell-off kind of deal. All right, so I hope I explained this well. I'm not going to show the opposite numbers because it works the exact same level. And when something like this happens, you can oftentimes get a good middle gap where the price is going to, in the short term, if no new buyers come in because of whatever fundamental news, See maybe the price move in this example to like 1050, between 1050 and 1150. That's what you would normally see. And if you get an extreme example where, say for example, the market goes up from 1000 to like 2000, then you're probably going to usually settle in at the lower mark. And in this case, you would again settle in maybe at the lower mark again. Whereas if someone bought it from 1,000 to 10,000, maybe it comes back and settles around 1,500. And I've seen that happen on Golem once, where the market went up like 200% in one buy switch. One person spending a heck of a lot for that one. But just something I wanted to bring up. Have yourself a great day and take care.